The rights to this broadcast have been granted by the Rhode Island Interscholastic League, representing member high schools across the state and the boys and girls who participate annually in RIIL-sponsored athletic competition. Any rebroadcast or republication of the programming without the written consent of the RIIL is strictly prohibited. Time now for the Finetco, a family of lumber yards high school game of the week. Finetco, a family of lumber yards with locations: Coventry Lumber in Rhode Island, West Haven Lumber in Connecticut, and E.L. Morse Lumber in Massachusetts, providing quality building products throughout New England and New York. Now, with all the play-by-play, here's Hall of Fame broadcaster John Parenti and Johnny Boots.
Welcome to Sunday Night Baseball, McCarthy Stadium in West Warwick, for today's qualifier between the West Warwick Wizards and Tollgate Titans, with Johnny Boots alongside, and a plethora of people here in the press box at the MAC. We welcome you into our Sunday Night Baseball special edition, playoff edition, between the Wizards and the Titans. West Warwick has taken the field in home white uniforms with the black and orange cap. We'll introduce Mike Dennis, and I think we reintroduced Chad Rondo. Chad, it's good to see you. What's up?
Hey, how's it going? It's great to be back. Thank you for having me again.
And we debut Mike Dennis. Michael?
I'm doing good. This is my third game, so still a newbie, less experienced.
No excuses.
No excuses.
Just excellence.
Yep.
That's all we expect. Wizards come in on a one run in their last 22 innings worth of work on the downside. Tollgate ekes in as the 11th seed. Anthony Burt gets the call for Rich Grenier for a while. We don't know how long. If the Wizards are able to take a lead, I assume we're going to see Mr. Burt get a little bit of an early exit so that he can work the second game, which would be at Central, as the winner of this game moves on to face the Knights in Providence on Wednesday.
I think they gotta get Bird out if they get up, because they need him, and then that's your ace. A lot of the other West Warwick pitchers, unfortunately, haven't had a great season pitching behind the mound.
Anthony's 7-0, as expected. Heading to St. John's, working that fastball that tops out with the low 90s. And I know Rich Grenier is banking on him to provide the defense, the start of the defense that they really need. They need a win. They need to have a couple of successful innings. They need to hit the ball against Jack Calvin. Interesting story about Calvin. He played basketball for Rich Grenier for 3 years. Now he's throwing against Rich's baseball team. It should be a lot of fun. I'm sure there was some pretty good-natured ribbing before the game began.
Yeah, because Rich Grenier does East Greenwich soccer too, right, boys?
Cranston East.
Oh, Cranston East.
Hey, John, you asked and you shall receive.
Hey, Joey, how are you? Joe Barris, former Wizard, is here. Good to see him. Good to see his old man, the Chief, as it's old home week here in the box at McCarthy Stadium, where the Wizards and the Titans are about to do baseball battle. We'll be back with more in just a moment at 995.1, 5.5, the legendary 1450 AM, and on Wizards TV.
Number 18, Jack Colvin, pitcher. Right fielder, Jonah LaFauci, number 9. And cleaning up, Braden Gear, left fielder, number 21. Following up on that is going to be Connor Salzillo, number 6, number 13, Jeff Laliberte, and number 23, Oliver Chavez. Followed up by those three is number 2, Shane Morrow, number 14, Edward Rosario, and number 4, Braden Randall.
Mike, here's how the defense lines up.
And for the Wizards, we have Anthony Burt on the mound, Nick Anderchow behind the plate, Tony Corrado at first, Charlie Brown at second, Jair Blanco at shortstop, Jack Pruitt third. In left field, we have Mason Hunt, center Joey Rivera, and right field Luke Gallo.
Boots, what do you have to say before we begin?
Absolutely nothing.
All right. That's why he's the best in the business. And live from the Boomerangs Roadhouse broadcast booth, we are ready to go as Jack Colvin gets ready to face Anthony Burt. Colvin does the throwing for the Titans today. Coming in with a batting average of .328. Burt looks at Andrew Child's side. Nick is ready. We're ready. First pitch is a fastball for a strike in the outside corner. First pitch time. Anybody?
6:28.
Mark that one down. We'll be needing that in a while, like a couple of hours. So, outfield straight away for the righty Colvin. Burt ready, throws, fastball misses. Called it inside. Called a strike. 0-2.
One of the things I did notice as we did the broadcasting for Charho, a lot of these umpires have some very, very
With Geico, we can easily bundle
inside pitch calls and have some very low pitch calls as well. Don't tend to call that high strike, but
The 0-2 heads right side. Corrado picks it up, steps on the bag for the first out. Umpires at this level can be very unpredictable, as we have learned. Huh, Boots?
Oh, we have. Last couple of games have been unique in calling balls and strikes.
Jonah LaFauci, another right-hander, steps in to face Burt. One down here in the Titans first. This time Riviera slanted maybe a little bit, maybe 2 steps toward right center, which is a good place to be. I'll explain why in a minute. There's ball 1 low. As fast as Burt is, they're not going to get around. So to cut that gap at right center would be of value. It's going to be a busy day for Charlie Brown when they get, if they get anything on the bat. Here comes the 1-0 for Burt. Striking the heart, it's 1-1.
Burt so far is doing a good job of working around the plate and managing the box, bringing it both in and out. Just trying to test the umpire's range.
1 ball, 1 strike. Adrian Charles sets up outside corner. The 1-1 deal is on its way. It's inside ball 2.
We want to welcome those joining us on Wizards TV.
Mason Hunt giving up the line in left field. Not going to get around, is he? 2-1 offer coming as Burt peers it again. The right-hander comes set. He looks and throws. Grounded toward third. On a couple of hops, Prew's got it. Jack threw it into the ground. Corrado picks it up for the out. Good play by Tony as the ball short hopped him. 2 down.
And Jack's done amazing on that third base spot this entire season. Really, don't get much action over at third, but the action that he's gotten, he's been able to make more plays than not, and especially with Tony Corrado at first being super flexible player, being able to make those hot passes.
Braden Gear, the left fielder, bats in the 3-hole. Gear comes in at 281. As Bird is ready again, starts with a fastball called strike. Man is generous.
I was about to say that's a little down there.
No, that's a lot down there. That's somewhere around the laces. I'm sure Rich Grenier and company will take it. Wizards better remember that when they get up to the plate. 0-1 coming with 2 men down here in the first, swinging straight 2 with a fastball.
Bird is working the edge of that plate right now against Braden Gear, number 21, left fielder.
Connor Salzilli is on deck. Salzilli is a very prominent athletic family in the state of Rhode Island. The 0-2 misses way outside.
with the pitch he just called, a couple pitches ago, I wouldn't be surprised if he called that a strike, huh?
I'm not sure he's that lenient. That thing was somewhere in the batter's box on the opposite side. 1-2 coming with 2 down. Burt throws, ball high. Unofficially, this is the 10th pitch of the inning. This would be ideal if you're a Wizard fan. The 2-2 is on its way. Swinging strike 3, the inning's over. So on an unofficial 11 pitches, Burt is out with the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the first inning here at McCarthy Stadium. Boy, oh boy, where are we? That's 2 Boots. Wizards coming to bat.
Wayne Miller was one. Two 0087. Get that electrical job.
Back at McCarthy Stadium, John Prunty has to gather his thoughts, his wits, because he keeps messing up. Just want everybody to know that the technical difficulties we had was not caused by me, the producer, or the director. It was John Prunty throwing a baseball at me.
Mea culpa. Guilty as charged. John Rondo, give us a batting order.
For the Wizards, starting off batting, number 18, center fielder Joey Rivera. Number 1, Jair Blanco. Number 10, catcher Nick Andrew Chow.
Strike 1 to Riviera.
Following up, cleaning up. Number 3, Jack Prue. Number 23, Mason Hunt. Number 12, Dylan Pravoyer.
And the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 2.
And the last three batters for the Wizards, number 8, Luke Gallo. Number 11, Tony Corrado. And number 4, Charlie Brown.
Michael will get us to the defensive alignment in just a moment. Or so the 0-2 comes. It's up high, ball 1. Go ahead, Michael.
So on the mound is Jack Clovani. Did I say that right? Yep.
Calvin.
Yep. Calvin. Okay. Behind the mound is number 2 Shane Morrow. At first is Joffrey Liberty.
La Liberty.
La Liberty. I'm gonna have to start getting name pronunciations, huh?
Nobody's grading you today, Mike.
I am.
Here's the 1-2. Foul left side.
At second base is Brendan Randall. At shortstop is Connor Salzillo.
Salzillo is correct. Dig, dig, dig.
At third is Edward Rosario. That was an easy name.
Yeah, it's Rosario.
Rosario? Jesus.
Pop straight up, fouled back. It's going to remain 1-2.
Gonna smack us right in the lip. In right field is Jonah LaFauci. In center is Oliver Chavez. And in left is Brandon Greer. Yep.
You pass. Thank you.
Not bad for my third time, huh?
Not bad at all. I remember my very first time, but not the next two.
then maybe the next two after that.
What was that, back in the 70s?
Yes, it was. 1972, matter of fact. Sometime in April. The first time was April 19th, 1972, a Coventry baseball game. Here comes the 2-2 pitch to Riviera in ball 4.
Right in front of us is West Warwick alumni Josh Pettis, standing up.
JP, where is he?
It's right
There
there.
he is.
He's literally
How
right
can
there.
you miss him? Boy, he got bigger. Even bigger.
I think he's at, what, CC? I think he's at CCRI playing baseball. Yeah.
Great kid. Recipient of a 2024 class of 1973 scholarship was Josh Pettis.
Ooh.
Blanco goes skipping and sprawling as Calvin threw a pitch inside. It's 1-0.
He's not a very tall kid as it is, so to get that low and have to hit him in the head.
He has had a tremendous year. Blanco comes in at 367, no home runs, 15 runs batted in. Throw back to first. Riviera's fine. The thing I like best about Jair Blanco, disturbs. Give me that old school stuff.
Yeah, I know you love that stuff too. If I was out there, I'd be wearing that too.
Here's the pitch. Riviera on the run. Here comes the throw. It's going to end up going to center field. Riviera thought about going to third. Mac Ranger said, whoa, please.
Yeah, good call by Joey for staying at second. That definitely would have been a run out if he ended up going to third. But wild pitch ends up moving Rivera over to second. So no outs, runner on second.
Been a long time since the Wizards have had a runner in scoring position in the first inning. 3 games, as a matter of fact. Calvin's pitch misses upstairs.
Well, some streaks are meant to be broken, John. I hope that we can break that today. Get a good early start for the Wizards. I know it's been rough the last couple games trying to get going for us.
Here's the 3-0. There's a strike in the outside corner. Calvin threw a breaking ball. Might have thought that Blanco was going to get a green light. Highly doubtable this early in the game, but sometimes kids overthink. So Calvin is ready at 3-1. Here it comes. Laced into left field. This is going to be a base hit. Grenier is going to say stop. Riviera does at third base.
So beautiful hit by Jair, sending it to the gap and towards shallow left field, and allows Joey Rivera to get over on third, and that moves Blanco over to first. So beautiful position for the Wizards with Nick Andrewchow, catcher, coming up to bat. On deck, number 3, Jack Prue.
Andrewchow at 382, leading hitter on the team. He's got 19 RBIs, looking for the 20th one right here. Throw to first, and Blanco is okay. Pretty decent crowd for a playoff game. Of course, Tollgate right next door. You know they're going to bring some people. Calvin is ready to pitch outside. Jair's on his way to second base, the cutoff play, and there's no advance by Riviera.
So now this is an even better position for the Wizards. Still 0 outs in this game. There's a lot that Nick could do here. What would you like to see, John?
Let him swing. He's the bat, let him swing. Infield pulled in too. And the pitch. Fouled off.
Is that a mental strategy by Tollgate? Try to pull him in, see if he tries to hit it in? Now over
I
their
think
head?
Tollgate's trying to keep the game as close as they can so that they get a shot toward the end of the game. Cut down as many runs as they can. I don't know. I would give up one here. Andrewchow fouls another one off.
I think one of Nick's first at bats, he went to, when me and Chad were there, he went to 11 or 12 pitches against Landon Sumner of Charo. He was just fighting.
I'll tell you something. Out in center field, Chavez is relatively shallow. So is the right fielder, Lafoci. Backed up just a little bit toward the fence, his gear in left. 1-2 coming to Nick Andrewchow. Blanco with a huge lead at shortstop now as Andrewchow pops it up right field side. Lafoci camping underneath and he makes the catch. The run will score, the throw will go into second base. The Wizards lead 1-0.
So beautiful pop fly sent over to right field by Nick Andrewchow forces a sac fly and a run for the Wizards. We take the lead of this game 1-0 here early in the first.
And a fun fact, the last Wizard runs produced in the last 23 innings have been on sacrifice flies by Nick Andrewchow. Blanco now at second. Boy, he had a huge lead all the way to shortstop. And now he'll hustle on back as Colvin fakes the pickoff attempt. Jack Prue is up. Jack right at the 300 mark. And he slaps one towards center field. This is going to be taken in by Chavez, and they were 2 down. Well struck. However, right at the center fielder, 2 away.
I think Jack was going to try to hit something maybe shallow to try to give Jair a chance to advance the third, but unfortunately couldn't do that. Bronco holds up at second. Stepping up, number 23, Mason Hunt, left fielder.
Hunt did 255, no home runs, 11 runs batted in. Blanco healthily off second base. Ball one, a change up in the dirt.
Wild pitch, good recovery by the catcher. Forces Blanco to stay at second.
Mason had a pretty decent game pitching against Charo. It was just rough, you know, that 5-0 loss, but he tried his absolute best to just climb them out of that hole.
Breaking ball by Colvin. Called a little bit high. It's 2-0. Jack peers into Shane Morrow's target. The righty Hunt swings and chops one foul. It's 2-1. Red Sox lost today, I think. Yes, they did. End up with a split with Baltimore.
5-1. Yankees won today, but they put up a record-setting 21 hits.
Blanco off at second base. He'll try to go to third. Ball's in the dirt. Here comes the throw. It's not going to be in time. And Blanco steals third. We talked about this the other day, Boots and I did, about sending a runner from second to third, although he's in scoring position, moving him over because there are a lot of ways to score from third with 2 men out. Wild pitch, pass ball, you name it.
Yankees are winning. Yankees are winning 4-3. 21 hits from last night's game. They're playing the lowly Colorado Rockies,
who beat them the other night.
Rockies are having a rough season. I think they only won like 10 games.
9.
3-1, struck out and missed.
Now that Yankees 21 hit, is that a franchise record or is that a season
I
record?
believe that's a franchise record for
I
them.
think it's a season record. Talking about the Yankees?
Yeah.
They must have had more than 21 hits in a game at some point there.
Let me look it up for you.
Please do.
Okay.
3-2 coming with 2 men out. Colvin throws. It's going to be ball 4. Mason Hunt is on.
So that is the second walk tonight for pitcher Jack Colvin, starting out here in the first. Just looking to retire this inning. Obviously a walk isn't what you want, but against Mason Hunt, maybe that's what you need. Stepping up, number 12, DH Dylan Pavoya.
Pavoya hitting 122 with 4 runs batted in. Infield at double depth, outfield straight away. There's a ground ball to shortstop. Is picked up there by Salzillo. He'll have to go to first one, then he does for the final out. But the Wizards strike first. 1 run on 1 hit. There were no errors. There was 1 man left on base. We go to the second. Wizards 1, Tollgate nothing at IE 105.5 at the legendary 1450 AM.
The law offices of Murphy.
Top of the second inning, Wizards leading 1-0, and Connor Salzillo comes to the plate to face Anthony Burt.
So it's an easy 3 up, 3 down for the Wizards last one. Looking to that
Bud is up
again.
high. So here's my question to you, Mike. You got your horse on the mound. Do you keep him at a pitch count? If so, how many? Now that you've got a 1-0 lead, is 1-0 enough?
I think you got to keep the horse just fed. If he's going good and there gets a close game, keep him in. If not, start getting the blowout error. You just got to take him out. Put in Timmy Dean. I think Timmy's got a couple innings he could pitch. I don't know, I think Mason's got his rest days in. Pretty sure he pitched 3 days ago, and he'd be able to get in and finish his game.
The wrinkle is the pitch count. There's a curveball for a strike in the inside corner. It's 1-2 to Salzillo.
So, to determine the rest days, is it pitch count or is it innings?
Pitch count.
Pitch count. And then they have to rest how many depending on how much they pitched.
Exactly. I think the first limit is 50 pitches. That after 50 you need a certain, maybe 1 day of rest. After 75 you may need 2, etc. There's a ball up high. It's 2-2. I'll be counting Bert's pitches on my pinkies here. This is the 5th of the inning and the 16th for Mr. Burt.
Maybe if we get to blowout, we'll have Mr. White, like he promised us the other day, he'll sing us, take us out to the ball game.
This ground ball is going to be foul in front of the plate. Andrew Shaw picks it up about halfway between third base and the plate.
You could consider the catcher like the middle linebacker or quarterback of baseball. They control the tempo of the game and kind of decide the pace for the runners. They can control how fast or slow they go around the bases.
Nick, in just his sophomore year, is one of the best in Division II, if not in all of baseball in Rhode Island. A 2-2 coming from Burt to Salzillo with the Liberty on deck. And the pitch up the middle. It's going to be Blanco behind the bag, all the way to first. The throw is long. Yeah, Andrew Chow did a nice job backing it up, and they've got the runner in a trap. And they get him.
Good recovery from the Wizards. Wild thrown ball coming over from second baseman Blanco, and from Charlie Brown, and good recovery from Tony Corrado and the catcher Nick Andrewchow to get that over the second and tag the runner between the first and second.
Heads up baseball by the Wizards catcher for the first out. No error recorded because he was out.
John, I guess he just proved your point why he's one of the best in D2, huh?
Just call me Nostradamus. Chad, how was your first year at Rhodey?
What if I told you I'm out of there now?
Oh, righty.
It was just like the first inning of the Wizards. It was a quick up, quick down.
It is strike one to the Liberty. Jeff at 152 on the year. Tollgate is a team hitting 220, which is another argument for getting Bernard there as quickly as you can. Swinging strike.
That North Providence game was just a classic piece of cinema. Those 19 strikeouts. He was pitching upwards of, 96? I think he topped out on, which is what Rich Grenier said.
Yeah. As far as I can recollect, that is the third highest by a Wizard pitcher in school history. Might be the most or second most in a 7-inning game. Here's the 1-2. It's a little bit tight. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Most of the West Warwick game was against Cranston High School back in 1961, when John Zilski of West Warwick and Mac Pagano of Cranston High recorded 44 strikeouts between them.
Wow.
Another fun fact is a ball down low.
How many innings did they play back then? 9?
That game actually went 11. They did play 9 innings of regulation. And then West Warwick won it on a wild pitch in the bottom of the 11th. So the 3-2 coming here, and there's ball 4. La Liberty is on. So one would consider that play by Mr. Andrewchow on the backup to be huge. Whereas it would be first and second with nobody out. Instead, it's a man on first with 1 down.
Coming up for the Spartans, number 23, Oliver Chavez, center field.
The Titans, not the Spartans.
Excuse me, Titans, sorry about that.
Yeah, I was just sending you a little magical note.
Fun fact, I actually attend the Career Center, and my teacher that I have, he's very avid about the Titan sports and the various sports that he actually goes to. He might actually be here today. Trying to look out and see him. Nope, he's not.
Got a lot of good memories about doing games at Tollgate High School. Back in the day, back in the 80s, when we used to do like 55,204 games a year. There's a strike, it's 0-2. That's when John Coates was in elementary school.
What year?
Anytime during the 80s.
Up until 85, yes.
0-2 coming. The kick and deal. Called strike 3, got him. Chavez gives a look to Bert and says, what was that?
It was a strike, John. That's what Bert told him, was a strike.
Got to understand the strategy behind no biting gloves going against a kid who pitches 90. That vibration off your hands must have to hurt.
Yeah. Shane Wells, the catcher. With 2 down, runner at first. A little bit he has his lead. Bert will come to the plate. Strike 1.
Now, John, throughout all your years that you've seen of Wizards baseball, what names have stood out to you?
Oh, wow.
I know, it's a tough question. A lot of kids coming in.
Andrew Sears is one of them.
True. Ground ball a little too hopper to second. Charlie Brown on to first, and the inning comes to an end. I'll answer that question when we come back. How's that, Chad? No runs, no hits, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the second, 1-0 Wizards on I-105.5, the legendary 1450 AM and on Wizards TV. We go to the bottom of the second inning with the Wizards.
And,
Leading the Titans, 1-0. Mike?
I want to give a shout out to some of the Westward TV production members. Our advisor and director, Mr. Eric White. He's doing a little hoot and holler over there. Our producer, John Patello, class 89.
That's it.
Our commentary people, John Parenti, Chad Rondo, and myself, Mike Dennis. Wow, look at the age differences and gaps.
Hey now. Hey.
You do realize I control the microphones, right? You can be done in about 10 seconds.
Hey, the joke I made when we went to break is he was the Pete Rose, but he didn't gamble.
He's too cheap.
And our camera operators, Aaron Leo Cavallo, Caden Spinella. Oh,
Fly ball left field, and on at first base is Gallo. And he's watching the left fielder make the catch. It was Gear tracking it down. Had to go back maybe about 15 feet to make the grab. There's one down.
and as I finish the shout-outs, Caden Spinella, who's a sophomore, and Mahari Morris, who is a freshman. I can take that back.
Thank you.
Yep.
We'll let you do it again. Strike one to Tony Corrado.
I got the stop call there, and I wasn't paying attention because I was just reading it.
Got to stop when the play happens.
You did not say what class I graduated from, Mike. Thank you for doing that.
73.
Now, John, now that you've had some time to think over some names,
I will start with Doug Haynes, who took us to the, when there was all one league and nothing but 5 divisions playing for the top spot. It was Haynes and Gregson Trocchio and Company, Wade Miller, one of our sponsors, and Steve Alves Sr., that's the same Steve Alves that you dealt with all your high school years, who took us to McCoy Stadium at the state championships back in 1983.
okay, awesome. I was going to say, you have to throw some years out there because I'm a little rusty around the edges, I guess you could say.
Haynes once had a 13-run batted in game on this field against South Kingstown. I was coaching with Lou Pilato back then.
It's funny because back then my parents weren't even born.
Great.
My mom was born.
What
in
is it with you?
I got to say, it was me last year now. Now it's him this year.
My mom was born in 80. My dad was born in 86.
Wow. Shit.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out.
I did say that too.
Would you put on that notable kind of all-time list? Would you put Josh Pettis?
Possibly.
Hasn't done anything yet. I put the name Jason Rayshot up
I
there.
put Jason Rayshot, I put Matt Rayshot.
I put Matt Rayshot, even though, you know,
I would put Norman LeVake.
injuries kind of stopped
Yeah.
Matthew, you know, after his 89 season going forward.
His ball outside, but yeah, Jay Rayshot.
Jay Rayshot.
When he was a sophomore, when he stopped having that girlfriend problem when he was a sophomore,
I don't know what you're talking about.
he was late to every practice back then because he had to say goodbye and I love you to his girlfriend. That used to aggravate the living daylights out of Coach Milano with me. Morgan Witherspoon is another one.
Morgan Witherspoon, wow.
Was that back before phones and texting?
Just about.
We're talking about the late 80s, early 90s.
They had phones back then.
No, they didn't.
They didn't have phones? But
No.
I'm talking about like telephones.
Telephones, not cell phones. No texting back then.
Brian Goff, one of the great center fielders, graduated with me in 1973. Ray Frenette, who was an outstanding pitcher back in 1971. It's the ball up high. The list goes on. Bob Grenier back in 1959. Switch hitter.
What about the all-time great who coached the Pawtucket Red Sox into the longest game and is the on-record manager for the longest game?
Like 40-something innings, right?
33.
33.
Mike Rock.
Yep. The 2-1 pitch is up high. Ball 3 to Charlie Brown. Corrado at first base after drawing a walk. Wizards lead 1-0. Then you can talk about, oh, good grief. Now the list is really going out. Fran Chatella was an outstanding third baseman.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken, Charlie Brown was actually part of that varsity team that was part of the Hendricken D1 state championship winners last year. He transferred here to play with his friends.
And if you want to go way back, even the pre-Parenti era, Henry Shepard and his brother. Henry Shepard was my neighbor, played in 1935. Played third base. His brother was the all-state shortstop back then.
Wow. It's before Mike Rock.
Yeah.
Wow.
About 20 years before Mike.
Exactly.
It's about at least 20 years before everyone else, too.
Hello, Mrs. Parenti. Oh, yeah, something new's been added. The chicken wire.
Joe Rivera back up to the plate.
He takes a strike.
Showed bunt.
Low
First
Liberty,
baseman ready.
Low Liberty was about to eat him as he was coming down the first base line. It was right there next to the batter's box. Runners at first and second for the Wizards. Ideal, but the position goes base hit up the middle. Everybody stops, so they're loaded as we get to the important part of the Wizards batting order. Blanco steps in.
So beautiful gap shot sent back at the top of the order from Joey Rivera, his first time up. Ended up getting walked, but made it all the way around to the diamond. And now bases are loaded here for the Wizards with 1 out. Blanco's back up. Last time up, went all the way to third. See if he can do something here.
That was after he sealed left field. Ball down low, picked up by Morrow, about 5 feet away from the plate. This could be a very big inning for West Warwick. Here's a swinging strike of the breaking ball. Jair has had some trouble with breaking pitches lately. Trying to do a lot of pulling instead of going with the pitch. This time Toge brings in the corners only, and the pitch is called strike in the inside corner. Playing it a little bit differently than they did earlier when they pulled the entire infield in, trying to negate the very first run at the plate, which they could not. 1-2 is coming. Here it is. He waved at it and might have made contact with it as it's fouled off.
So that was an interesting little tap there. No, I didn't even hear it hit the bat if it did.
Fans obviously don't think so either. No argument from Jair. No argument from Rich Grenier either. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Big spot in the ball game early. There's a line drive into center field for a base hit. This will score at least 1. Matt Grenier will hold the runners.
Looks like
It's
that,
2-0.
that call just kind of set them up to get that run.
You know why Matt did it? The answer is right at the plate. Mr. Andrewshouse steps in.
Nick, unfortunately, his first time up, flew out to right field.
Swings and fouls it off, strike 1. Sacrifice fly back in the first to send Riviera home.
I think out of the 2 years I've been at the high school, he's one of the hardest working kids I've ever seen in class and on the field.
He's an animal. There's a strike. It's 0-2.
He's also a wrestler and a football player. And next year he will probably be the first string running back for the Wizards.
Had a good year last year. And of course the kicker slash is a ball outside. I'll tell you, Blanco over at third base, very active.
Definitely trying to throw the pitcher off, or at least.
The pitch by Calvin, called strike 3, got him.
So with Nick striking out with 2 outs, that brings up cleanup number 3, Jack Prue. First time up, flew out to center field.
Prue came in at 300, bases loaded, and the pitch is outside, ball 1.
You know, quite a young team for the Wizards this year compared to last year. Last year you had a lot of juniors and seniors playing, and now, I mean, we got Charlie Brown out there, and Jair Blanco, and Jack Prue. I know he's only a sophomore too.
Ball down low, 2-0.
On this unit, they only have, so center would be a junior, right would be a junior, Jair's sophomore, so the whole infield is pretty much sophomores.
They had a sophomore catcher behind the plate.
Except Tony and Anthony.
There's one the opposite way. It's toward right field. It's going to bring in 1. Granger's going to hold them up again. They play station to station. The Wizards lead at 3-0.
Disciplined baseball coming out from the Wizards, just getting a hit, getting their run, and keeping their men on base. Unfortunately, they can't really do too much with how the hits have been with wanting to send 2 runners home, but Gurney is playing this safe, has faith in his hitters, and I would too, with coming up Mason Hunt, number 23, left fielder.
No activity in the Wizards bullpen, although we expect to see it soon. Right now it's 3-0.
Are there mercy rules in high school baseball?
Yes, there are. 10-run rule. After 5, there's a strike.
Confirmed by the catcher.
So they have to play 5.
Correct.
Okay.
Which we learned the hard way the other day, eh, Boots? The pitch fouled off.
Guess we're going to cycle through until we see that big hit where it just cleans them all up.
And again, Blanco way off the bag at second. No cover this time. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Hunt. Here's the pitch. It's outside. You know something? If I was Morrow, I'd throw behind one of those rotors because I'll tell you something. Prue is just kind of lagging back at first base. He's got a big lead, too. He's got about 11 steps. I'd run something here defensively if I was Tollgate. And they do. Now they'll come home with a double pump, though. Runner is safe. La Liberty double pumped, and Jair Blanco took full advantage of it. They drew the throw to first. Prue will advance to second.
What is it, 4-0 or is it 5-0?
4. Riviera scored. Blanco was at third.
That was a beautiful base run call by Greniers.
Yeah, I thought Jack was done over at that first base line when he took that.
Here comes the 1-2. It's way outside, ball 3. So now with a 4-run lead, what do you do?
You've already gotten 3 this inning. I mean, you still have 2 in scoring position. That hit him or the bat?
No, both fall off.
Okay.
I have no idea who they could actually put in the game. I think they have their freshmen. I don't know if Timmy Dean and Labonte have any innings left. They might have 4 or 5 each.
Yeah, Dean went, what, 2 to 3 the other day, Boots?
Yes,
Ball outside.
he did.
Well, that's a huge.
They've got Labonte. They've got Hunt. Hunt has not pitched out for a week.
He pitched Charo. He picked the whole game.
That was the last time.
Right.
That was, what, a week ago Tuesday.
Tuesday.
So he said 5 days.
Oh yeah, so
ball
they'll
chop
probably
foul.
put Hunt in.
You know, there's a huge gap for Hunt right through the center of the field. If he can somehow send a ground ball through the second base, I think that he could be able to send in at least another run.
Blanco at third. This is a ground ball. This is going to go to left field. This is going to be a base hit. On to score comes Blanco. On to score comes Prue. On to second base with a double is Hunt, and the Wizards have broken this thing open a little bit with a 5-run second inning. They lead at 6-0.
I called it. I said they were cycling through until they got that big hit, and that's what they got. They cleaned them up. Oh, here we go. Got
Nick
the mound.
Duran will talk to Jack Calvin. He'll get the ball for Jack, and that'll do it. And it looks like Gear's going to come into pitch. So we have a pitching change here at McCarthy Stadium. Wizards with a 5-run inning thus far. They lead at 6 bubble. Back at McCarthy Stadium, Mason Pavoya, the ninth batter this inning for West Warwick with a runner at second.
Number 21, so Gear.
All right, so Garrett's moved to first base.
Let's see, I think.
And Jeff Liberty is the new pitcher. And then we need the new left fielder eventually.
Number 18, I think.
That'd be Calvin, so they put Calvin in left field.
Runners going to third, and that's going to be a steal for Mason Hunt, coming off of a wild pitch from the new pitcher, Jeff Laliberte, coming over from first base.
Well, Liberty with a record of 1-3, an ERA of about 5. So Garrett's moved over to first, and Calvin has moved into left.
Yeah, the thing about this Tollgate team, they've actually have 4 kids that are over 20 innings pitched, and Jeff comes in at 24 flat.
3-2 now to Pavoya.
And he's seen just about 110 batters through those 24.
One batter, one out. That's enough for Mr. Liberty. However, the Wizards in the second inning, 5 runs on 4 hits. They strand 1. Through 2 now. West Warwick 6, Tollgate nothing at I-105.5. Tollgate bats in the third inning here at Jack McCarthy Stadium. In a 6-0 game, winner moves on to play Central in the first round of the pod proper at Joe Williams Field, which is located kind of near Roger Williams Park. Boots wanted to know earlier, that's why I kind of stuck that in. It's a little bandbox, very shallow center in right field. Strike 1 to Edward Rosario.
The question is, how long are they going to pitch Burr? Are they going to pitch him right up to 49, get him to the 50, and then take him out?
He's thrown 23 by unofficial count. This is actually the 26th. And the kick and deal. Cuffed it foul. Good ask to Brian for the thermometer reading.
Looks like the sky's cleared up here a little bit at McCarthy Field. Sun's starting to poke out a little bit.
And the 1-2. Just a little high, 2-2.
I think Bert thought that was a strike.
That looks like it was right down the middle, right down the gutter.
I think I thought it was a strike 2 there, Chad. And the 2-2. That one missed high, 3-2. Bird has struck out 2, walked 1. And the payoff is coming to Rosario. It's ball 4.
So that is Bert's second walk of the game. Had it over early in the second inning to Jeff Laliberte.
Brandon Randall, the second baseman, up for the first time. Most of the Wizards will be hitting for a third time shortly. Here's a strike. Bottom third, the Wizards will have their second at bat at the bottom of this inning. And then Rivera, Blanco, Andrew Chow, etc. will all be up for a third time.
Looking over to our right at the Tollgate bullpen, looks like they're going to give Jeff a couple more pitches to get warm.
Runner at first is on the go. Andrew Chow throws on the money. It is going to be in time.
Beautiful toss out from Andrew Chow from behind the plate. Send that over to mound the second. And Edward Rosario is going to head back to his dugout. No man on base anymore for the Titans. And that brings up the first out of the third inning.
Why would Nick Duran send a runner on that arm down 6?
Yeah, definitely a questionable take, John. I think that they're just trying to get something to be made, but when a ball popped up right above our heads, I feel like in this situation, I feel like you need to take this one of two approaches. You could play it the safe route, which I think would realistically be the best option, and just get your man on base and just play simple baseball. But it seems like right now they're trying to just get something, they're trying to force something to be made, and sometimes you can't do all that. Play a hit by pitch? Nope. So it's going to come off the
It's a foul ball.
And that is Nick Anderchow's 8th batter he's caught stealing this season.
So I think Tollgate's just going to try to get out there and force as many opportunities as they can to get back into this game, because it is a do-or-die situation for both teams here. Wizards sitting a little bit more comfortably, though, than Tollgate.
Burt takes his time. The 1-2 delivery is on its way. It's grounded toward short. It's going to be a tough play. It's going to end up going into shallow left field. That's going to be a base hit. A tweeter for Randall. And now I say to you, Chad Rondo, you're talking first and second, nobody out. Down 6-0. If you don't make that play.
So it's been tough for Tollgate right now to just get men on bases in general. This is the only time they've done it is here in the third inning, and they got picked off at second. So now with one on first with one out, you don't really have too many opportunities, but trying to pick off the man on first to give out a sac fly or anything, you just gotta try to find the gaps and just get the base on ball. You just have to just keep playing on the plate here.
Jack Calvin up with one out. Randall at first, Corrado holding, Burt looking. Comes centered, lets it go. This is going to be lofted and snared by the second baseman. Brown on to first for the double play. That's your inning. Tollgate goes down quickly. And even more importantly, Burt only threw 9 pitches. 6-0 Wizards. Back with more in a moment.
Johnny Mac.
Bottom of the third and the bottom of the third, the Wizards order with Luke Gallo, Tony Corrado, and Charlie Brown scheduled to face Jeff Liberty. Gallo flied to left at his only trip to the plate. That was back to lead off the second.
Now he's back here to lead off the third. Going through the whole rotation for the Wizards. On deck, number 11, Tony Corrado, first baseman.
Gear, Randall, Salzillo, and Rosario around the horn for Tollgate, right to left. Calvin, Chavez, Lafoci, the outfield for the Titans. Ready to lefty here. Liberty throws the ball low and away. And the pitch near the shoelaces.
Been a lot of inside pitches coming from the Titans.
And the offer outside.
Well, that one was outside, but
3-0. The Liberty is a square to bunt. Fake try. Ball 4.
Pulled away just in time. I don't think the pitcher liked that call.
so stepping up to the plate, Tony Corrado on deck, Charlie Brown. Tony's last time up, walked and made his way around the diamond.
Scored the second run of the game. On the single by Blanco. Square to bunt, pulled it back, took ball 1 outside. Rosario way up at third, expecting the bunt.
And the Wizards are ready to be aggressive here. You see Gallo on first as they pitch back to him.
This has been a huge offensive get-well card for the Wizards. As I mentioned, they hadn't scored more than a run in any one of their last 3 games and had a 23-inning drought. There's a ball. Winner plays Central, which is the tournament's number 3 seed. 2 games have already been completed. Narragansett beat Prout. There's the ball outside. Pontiac upset Tollgate, the number 10 seed, over the number 7 seed, 3-1. So the Avengers' good season came to an end. And now it's Pontiac and St. Ray's, Narragansett and North Providence, the 1 seed. Ball gets by the catcher. It's ball 4 anyway. Turning the corner at second is Gallo. Thinking about third, he's trying to draw a throw. It's not going to happen.
So a walk coming for Tony Corrado. Leaves a man on first and second. So another great position early in the inning for the Wizards. As Charlie Brown stepping up his first time. Walked as well, but made his way around the plates to score the 3rd run of the game.
Let's see if the bunt is on here with the number 9 batter at the plate. He squares, he bunts. It's going to go down the first baseline foul. Picked up there by Gear.
So now that the Wizards have already showed bunt a lot, what would you do if you took it here?
All you can do is pull them up at the corners. Make sure your bunt defense is in order.
See the first baseman's playing just up in the green. Third baseman a little bit back in the dirt.
Brown squaring early. Gear creeping up. Here's the pitch. It is bunted in front of the plate, foul.
That was almost a perfect bunt right down the line. Just steered over.
So now it's 0-2. Charlie B swinging away. Top of the order on deck. Riviera is 1 for 1. Blanco is 2 for 2. Runners off at first and second. Little shadow by the shortstop, Salzillo. At second is a swinging strike. Down goes Brown. Second K by La Liberty. And now he faces the iron of the Wizard order. Riviera, who singled, walked, scored twice, stole a base in just 2 innings of offensive action. Big lead over there at second by Gallo. Here's the pitch, another square to bunt. Runner goes and safe at third base. Is Luke Gallo with a stolen base. The Wizards' third of the game.
Matt Grenier is wondering why the runner at first base did not take second. He's waving his arms up in the air.
So I wonder if that could create a gap in the play for the Wizards of what they're trying to do.
I think they're trying to get the score up to 10 as quickly as possible.
Now, is there a certain amount of innings you have to play, or is it once it hits 10, it's
5 innings.
You got to play 5.
I figure they'll probably, if they get a couple of runs this inning, they'll probably pull Burt.
Better get somebody warmed up. Runners at the corners. Here's the pitch. It's outside. There goes the runner to second. And defensive indifference is the call as the ball went right back to the pitcher. So Tony Corrado is at second base. Gallo is at third. One man out here with the Wizards' third. Now they bring up the entire infield except for the first baseman. That's weird. There's a strike. Now they called the first baseman gear. 3 balls, 1 strike.
still a shallow infield for Tollgate.
Here's the 3-1. Cut on a miss, strike 2.
That could have been dangerous.
LaFoce choked it in right field straight away. Center fielder Chavez straight away. Here's the pitch. There's a little liner. It's caught by the second baseman. Did he drop it? He steps on the bank for the double play. So Randall made the play and in full speed touched the bag at second to eliminate Corrado, and that'll do it for the Wizards in the third quickly enough. No runs, no hits, 1 left. To the fourth we go, 6-0 Wizards. Top of the fourth here at the back. Wizards leading 6-0. LaFoce, Gear, and Salzillo, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the order coming up for Tollgate. Down 6-0. Ball 1 is in tight.
With that pitch, Bert's back got about 16 more pitches left.
Again, we're unofficial. And the pitch. Missed low ball 2. Spotted his fastball the first inning, if you remember, Mike. Just spotted it very, very well. And now he's gone to some change-ups and curveballs, and he's just missed. They didn't touch the fastball. Why not throw it again until they catch up with it?
They've had some decent contact, but, I mean, he's gotten it where he's pitching it right where it's in play. He's making a lot of plays for these Wizards defenders.
Strike 1. Makes it 2-1. They have not hit a ball out of the infield. The Titans have, or have not.
Jair and Jack having a field day out there at shortstop and third. Here comes
This one
another
toward Prue, but foul. Coach Nick Duran picked it up. Wizards defensively with Hunt, Riviera, and Gallo in the outfield. Third to first, it's Prue, Blanco, Brown, and Corrado. And Andrew Chow accepting the offerings of Anthony Burt. Here is the 2-2 coming. LaFauci ready, swings and puts it down the left field line. This is going to be a base hit. So I know soon to say they don't have a ball in the infield, out of the infield, and he's out at second base with a down the line double.
Feels like he just put his barrel right on the ball and just smacked it.
Yeah, beautiful pull from LaFauci, sending that down the third base line. Stepping up now is Braden Gear. Was left field, now playing over at first, number 21. On deck, Connor Salzillo.
Titans trying to be a little noisier here in the fourth inning. Regardless of the season, playoff season, regular season, we still play 7.
So if they would to mercy rule them this coming to the bottom of the fourth, they would just have to play the top of the fifth. The game would be over, right?
That is correct. Ball 1.
And coming up on Tuesday, we'll be probably covering the Wizards softball playoff game. They had a very big upset against SRA and beat one of probably the best teams in Rhode Island, powered by that pitcher they have. And it's kind of funny because she played for Cranston East the year before D3, and then she played the AAU offseason. She just got recruited, most of her and her team, from their team and went to SRA.
They don't recruit.
Well, they all came from D3 schools, and they moved up to a team that had a very big hole in the roster after most of their seniors left. So
Now you're judicious. LaFauci drew a throw from Andrew Chow. It was a little bit high, but no further advance. 3-0 to Braden Gear. Bird is ready. Bird throws. There's the called strike.
I think he gave him his call back from that right down the middle fastball. We saw that he called a little high.
3-1 coming to the batter Gear. The stretch, the toss. Strike 2 of the heart.
I feel like Gear didn't like that last pitch, and it seems like it's throwing him off a little bit this at bat.
No action in the Wizards bullpen. Here's the 3-2. Strike 3 called. Got him. Burke comes all the way back and fans Gear.
And looking over with our binoculars, we can see, I think that's Timmy Dean. Yep. Timmy Dean's warming up at the bullpen.
So I've got 9 pitches with 1 out with Salzillo up. So that would be 41.
Yeah, it's Timmy Dean. I could tell by the long hair.
Strike in the inside corner.
Timmy's a good kid. I had him in gym class this year. His last class would have been last week. They had senior exams.
Nick Duran is coming to either speak to the plate umpire or speak to his batter. Nick wants to know what's going on. The thing is, you can't argue balls and strikes.
We're going to see a warning given out here? Maybe he'll toss him?
Don't know what he's arguing about. I assume it's on balls and strikes, but you can't do that.
Oh, he gestures him to return back to his spot.
I really got to learn how to start reading lips from here.
I got the binoculars. Maybe I'll start zoning in.
You could start by cleaning the windows.
Maybe taking some of this chicken wire off, too.
Yeah, you're right, Chad.
I mean, I'd rather have the chicken wire and not be able to see than get smacked in the face by a foul ball.
Yeah, that's what the cage in the front's for.
I guess.
Where's your excitement? You don't have chicken wire at Fenway Park in the broadcast booths.
Here's a pitch. Here's a strike to Salzillo.
You know, it would be cool to bring one of my gloves and just catch some foul balls coming to the booth.
Burt stares in. Right-handed batter is ready. The kick and deal. Dubbed foul.
Look at the hustle from Rich Grenier getting that ball.
How many unofficial pitches we at, John?
44. This is the 45th unofficially. Dean returning to the dugout. LaFauci gets his lead at second. Burt looks once, looks twice, steps off.
Do they have like the majors? They have a balk rule where they can only take a certain amount of step-offs per batter.
Good question. Up the middle it goes. Blanco snares it in front of the bag, throws to first from the second out. So the sophomore shortstop does it again. 2 down here in the fourth. So according to our stats, he's got 6 pitches to play around with as his mound opponent, La Liberty, comes to the plate.
Yeah, I think that's Tim. Tim's what number? I think it's. Can't really tell when we use the binoculars.
Pitch fouled off.
You know, is it a trend in high school baseball to see a lot more opposite hits than pull?
Should. Especially when you get a flamethrower like this guy. I got a story about that one too in a moment or so. The 0-1 and batter steps out of the box. So way back when a guy by the name of, a legend by the name of Skip Kenyon was coaching at Charahoe, he was playing here at West Warwick. And the first 11 batters all went over the second baseman's head into right field.
Is that Wilmer in their bullpen? No.
There's a ball.
No,
One,
there.
But that's how Charahoe played baseball back then. Nothing but opposite field hitting. You got somebody, as a matter of fact, Steve Robitelli was throwing for us that day. And he threw pretty hard, and everybody just made contact to the right side, and they ended up beating us. This one's fouled back, 1 and 2.
Now, even with your lefty batters, would you want them pulling, or would you want them hitting opposite as well from their end?
Yeah, I would have them hitting opposite field. Back control is huge.
Now for the Wizards bullpen, they're actually warming up freshman Adrian Cruz. I want to say his name is.
Wow.
He's a lefty.
Maybe they're going to go different pitcher every inning until it's over.
Get some experience for
Sure.
playoffs.
1 and 2 coming. Bird is ready. Unofficially, this would be number 47. Well, Liberty walked his first time up. That was back in the second inning. Burt stares down Andrew Char's target. Long, long look.
Still looking.
The time clock would be screaming right about now. There's a called strike. That does it. I guess the wait was worth it. 4 strikeouts for Anthony Burt. He's thrown 47, and officially we go to the bottom of the fourth. We're halfway through here at McCarthy Stadium. Wizards 6, Titans nothing at I-105.5. The legendary 1450 AM and on Wizards TV.
truly a soldier in that, the aspect of he's just a hard worker on the batting and the fielding. I swear every single time that I tried out for one of Rich Granier's teams last year and then I tried out in middle school, he was just a soldier out there, taking day by day.
Fouled one off right field side. No balls, 2 strikes. Fouls another one off same place. Over the heads of the Tollgate fans to our right.
I think the pitcher's got to get a tighter cap.
And the 0-2. Ground ball to short. Salzillo was there. He's got the throw down to first, and it's in time. 2 down here in the 4th. The Wizards put up 1 in the first and then 5 in the second. On the strength of 4 hits, including a 2-run double by Mason Hunt, who's on deck. Prue drove in 2 with a single in that second inning. He stands in to face La Liberty. And the first pitch to him knocks him down. It's ball 1.
That hit the bat?
Don't believe so.
Hit something.
And the pitch. Curveball missed outside. 2-0.
And they're trying to completely exploit this umpire strike zone. You can see there, you're just trying to frame that outside corner.
And the 2-0. Called strike in the outside corner.
And they got that frame call. They kind of just inched in just a little bit.
And the pitch is going to get him squatting away from the ball. 3-1. Prue way up in the count. Nobody on. There are 2 out here in inning number 4. And the pitch. Ball 4 at the highs.
So a lot of inside and outside pitches coming over from Colvin. And I don't know if he's not trying to throw over the plate, but none of them ended up getting over. Walking Jack Prue. Stepping up now is Mason Hunt.
Yeah, the first pitch is inside.
Feels like he's trying to just scare every single batter he goes against now. Just trying to deck
Trying
him.
to get him off the plate. And Mason steps right back in. Throws it. It's fouled off. 1-1.
Mason's first time up, go walked. In the second inning, hit a single, made it all the way to third.
2-run double and a stolen base in that inning for Mr. Hunt. Chavez choked up center field. So it's 1-1. Trying to find the right fielder. There he is. Lafoce straight away in right. And the pitch is inside. 2-1. Lights are on here at the back. Liberty ready again. His 2-1 offer with the runner going, draws the batter back. And on to second base easily goes Jack Prue.
Looks like he's just trying to scare him. That's, what, 4 in the last 2 at batters that he's just been close almost.
Yeah, a lot of dirty white pants.
That must be hella clean. Getting all the dirt out the white every time.
Here comes the 3-1. Nearly through behind him,
And
struck
they're
him in
gonna
the
hit him.
back.
I saw that coming from a mile away.
Out goes Durant to talk to La Liberty.
So a lot of inside pitches coming from Colvin. When you now, John, as a former coach, what would you be telling Colvin in this situation to do? You know, has a lot of pitches inside and out, can't really find leverage over the plate.
I told Calvin to keep playing left field.
Excuse me, Lalibert on the mounds.
Just a little bit of ribbing there, Chad. Don't worry about it. But, you got to tell him, yeah, you got to start throwing strikes here. We got a dangerous situation. You can't be walking people. You're going to leave us just 3 outs to try to recoup 10 runs if they score 4 times.
We have a beautiful scene here at McCarthy Field. We have the sun setting over right field.
So what I like best about you, Mike, you got that aesthetic behind you. Got kind of a funky sunset over there. Look at the right field still, first base stands, and kind of a weird sunset.
You can see the sun peeking through to the left side. Finally decided to show itself out today.
No shadows. No balls, 1 strike to Mason Pavoya. 2 down here in the 4th. The Wizards haven't scored in the inning. Now the base umpire is going to go over to Liberty.
A fun fact about one of the Wizard bullpen pitchers, Mr. Cruz, I actually played rookie with him, and he actually got thrown out of the game because he hit 7 batters in a row.
Wow.
He had a very, very wild lefty arm, and he got thrown out the game. And he actually cried because he hit so many kids. He felt so bad.
Home plate umpire gathering up Grenier.
Yeah, what is he doing?
Is he throwing warnings out?
Not sure.
Well, we'll play ball now. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs.
Gonna have to ask Rich Grenier after the game what he said.
They're trying to steal here. It's safe at third base. Here's Prue, double steal.
Beautiful coming over from Prue. Beautiful slide coming in to third base. Just barely getting the safe, and that moves Mason over the second as well. So Wizards have 2 in scoring position, 2 outs. Pavoya up on the plate with a 1-1 count.
And the Raiders going to talk to the base umpire about that one. And this is what I don't understand. You're in the dugout. It's 90 feet to the baseline on a line. If you draw an isosceles triangle, it's like 120 feet to the other line. And then another 40 feet to the dugout. You're talking running out to argue a call when you're 120, 160 feet away, and the base umpire is maybe 15, 20 feet away. You're never going to get a call. Just go back in the dugout, Nick, and chill and do what you need to do.
It's like they're asking to get thrown out the game.
Yeah.
You know, maybe he's got the eyes of,
A hawk.
not even of catching the golden snitch like in Harry Potter.
You have to explain that one to me. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs.
We'll give you the movie clip of when he does it.
Thank you. The 2-1 is down into the corner for a strike.
Listen, that franchise came out in the early 2000s, so it's still relatively
The books were written in
New,
the 90s. I think the first one came out in 89, 90.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and he spoils one, fouls it off.
Watching the instant replay on Wizards TV, it was a very, very close call at third base. I will say that.
But was it the right call?
I will say it was the right call, but I can see where there'd be just some discretion.
So you don't come out.
Yeah, but it was close.
2-2. Call strike 3.
That was an interesting call. Very interesting. Got the curveball.
No runs for the Wizards in their half of the 4th. No hits, 2 left. We'll play the 5th. Tollgate up, down 6-0.
Game of the Week on WWRI, West Warwick, Warwick, Coventry, and W288EE West Warwick, a DePonte Communications station.
Back at McCarthy Stadium for the top of the fifth, the Wizards have made some changes. Mike?
So they've moved Mason Hunt from left field, and he's now on the mound. He had a pretty solid game against Charo. He pitched pretty much the entire 7 innings. I think he came out for the last 2 pitches before they came to back to batting. They put Burt out in left field, trying to rest him, not trying to put too much pressure on that arm of his.
Burt threw 4 innings, allowed no runs, 2 hits, walked 1, struck out 3. And in our count through, 47 pitches? Yes. So he would be eligible to pitch against Central with 2 days rest. We go to the top of the 5th inning. Chavez, Morrow, and Rosario up for Tollgate, and there's strike 1 to Oliver Chavez. Caught looking back in the 2nd inning. And the second pitch, missed outside, 1-1.
Providing West Warwick wins this game, and they play Central at Central's home field, we would not be there, and I don't think anybody can be there, for crying out loud.
It's a little playground bandbox.
It really is. Checking out on Google Maps, there's no place to set up, and there's literally 3 stands.
Yep.
And that's on the third base side.
I'll try to find out exactly if they're going to stay at Joe Williams. There's strike 3, and he knew it. Mason Hunt threw a gorgeous breaking ball at Chavez, and he sightseed it.
Once the Wizards or the Titans win the game, when they announce exactly where to be on the Interscholastic League site? No.
To be announced, to be determined, it says right now.
They got to talk to the ADs on Tuesday.
All right.
So off the bat, Shane Morrow struck out in the 2nd. Excuse me. Did get out in the 2nd.
Grounded to second baseman Brown to end the 2nd. Hunt is ready. Throws a strike in the outside corner.
And Hunt pitched a beautiful game last week here at McCarthy Field against the Chargers. Game ended up slipping out of his fingers a little bit.
Threw the breaking ball again, and Morrow swung and missed. It's 1-2. The ideal situation would be to get both Hunt and Burt under 50 pitches and have them both ready for the start of the pod tournament. Is the ball outside.
And you did see West Warwick over near left field warming up 3 pitchers. Mason Hunt, Timmy Dean, and
Adrian Cruz, I think his name is. He's a freshman.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ball hit him. Hunt's not pleased with himself.
I don't blame him.
And a 2-strike count. Nick Andrew immediately out to see him and say, hey, short memory, forget it. Throw the next ball where I tell you to. 6-0 West Warwick.
That's the great thing about Nick. He's always kind to his pitchers and is willing to work with them, especially in this kind of game.
Eddie Rosario walked. Back to first they go, and Morrow is safe. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 bases. Morrow is the 4th base runner that Tollgate's had tonight.
On the opposite side of the spectrum, the girls for Tollgate, they're actually in the 3rd seed, and they would play the winner of SRA and
West Warwick.
No, SRA and West Warwick wouldn't play. West Warwick is on the opposite side.
Correct. South Kingston's play West Warwick on Tuesday. Do it again with an S. Give me credit for that. I'm an old man. Here's the pitch. Here's the strike. Brandon Randall on deck. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out.
West Warwick actually plays Portsmouth. SK lost 12-1. Just checking and West Warwick would be home. So yeah, we would play the winners of Tollgate and East Greenwich, and then SRA, Situate, Barrington, and Johnston on the other side.
Here comes a 1-2. Hunt throws. Swung on and missed. He got him.
Beautiful pitch over the plate from Hunt. Obviously, last at bat wasn't what he wanted and was able to turn it around here. So whether it was Nick getting him out of his head or him himself. Whatever worked, worked. And now stepping up, Braden Randall. His first time up, got a single in the third. He's making his second plate appearance tonight.
Burrow with a slight lead over at first. No even need to throw it. Ball one just missed outside. That pitch was a strike 5 minutes ago.
One of the similar necessities they have to us is they have a young cast too. Braden's actually a freshman. Pretty short kid.
And the pitch is a strike. Burrow's a senior, Salzello's a senior, Lafocci's a senior, La Liberty makes 4, Calvin makes 5.
I guess I was
Chavez is
completely See, I only looked at one person, and I know Tollgate's they've got a good cast of kids to play some baseball over there.
Pop fly handled by the Wizards, and that'll do it in the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, 1 left. To the bottom of the 5th, Wizards need 4. They lead at 6-0.
Since 19
Bottom of the 5th inning in the bottom third of the Wizards order once again with Gallo, Carano, and Charlie Brown on to face Jeff LaLiberty, who is not allowed to run. Actually is not allowed to hit. He's walked 4.
So Luke Gallo stepping up, fly out to left field in the second, and in the third walk.
Swinging, striking the fastball. It's 1-1. West Warwick 6 runs, 5 hits, no errors. Is a strike called to the inside corner. Tollgate, no runs, 2 hits, and no errors. And the 1-2 coming. Just missed outside. Tried to backdoor a curveball. It's 2-2. And the pitch, third base side, foul. This is where calling a ball in the outfield becomes a real challenge, my friends. And the 2-2.
Ooh.
Struck him in the ankles. Gallo aboard for the second time. West Warwick needs 4 runs to enter the pod play proper.
They're gonna hand out a warning to Tollgate here. Two hit by pitches and a lot of blunt ones that he threw out into the dominant hand of the strike zone.
I just think he's wild. But now the plate umpire will do his due diligence and say something into the Tollgate dugout. I really don't think Lillibity is throwing at everybody, not intentionally.
No.
He just may be a Duke Lelouch.
What's the rule for how many they've got to hit before they get thrown?
I don't think there is a rule.
No.
No.
So it'd be the
It
discretion.
have to be. You have to be the umpire's intent
Yeah.
So it'd be a
or the
discretion.
umpire's discretion.
Right.
He'd have to be very certain that there's intent to hurt the batter.
Right.
First of all, a couple of those hit batters were at curveballs.
Right. He's just trying to lynch it into the zone. He's just clipping them.
Yep.
The first one he threw at, what was it, Jack, I believe?
Yeah.
It was just, and the batter before that was just really kind of centered at the head.
No, I will stand up for Lillibity and say he is not going out headhunting. He's just a little bit, no, a lot wild.
Seems like him and the umpire had a bit of a few words.
Yeah.
How often do you see that happen?
The frustration of being down 6-0. There's a called strike. Throw to first and back safely is Gallo. Barely.
See, now that's one where Tollgate coach could come out and challenge that one if he wanted to.
Well, he's a little bit closer to the play.
Exactly.
Trying again. This time it's even closer and he got him.
So Luke trying to get a little fancy over between first and second, and good job by Lalibert on the mound to go ahead and pick him off. So that brings up ball 1. Excuse me, 1 and 2 is the count.
He almost just hit this batter, too. Almost.
Yeah, the pitch by Lillibity. Call strike 3.
Did they pinch hit?
Yeah, they pitch hit
Tony
Lucas
Corrado.
Satola for
Yeah,
Corrado.
he's well, Nick's backup, isn't he? He's one of the catchers.
Yep.
Now I have another pinch hitter coming in for what would be Charlie Brown. Or is this Charlie Brown right here? This is Charlie Brown up to the plate. His first time up, walk, made it all the way around and struck out in the 3rd.
Looking over to the Tollgate section, I can see some backseat drivers trying to motion to the pitcher how to throw his curveballs.
There's a ball outside.
So now, John, barring that Westbrook does go on to win this game, how you see, what's your thoughts on Central, your takeaways?
Up, there's one and a hit batsman.
That is, what, 4 or 3?
That would be 4.
Still pitching, Lalibert.
Here's Riviera. 1 for 2. Hit that soft liner that turned into a double play to win the 3rd inning. The pitch, outside, ball 1. No warm-up activity in the Tollgate bullpen.
Shane's doing a pretty good job behind the plate of framing some of these pitches that have been called. There's also been some he's framed that haven't been called, so he's kind of about even.
Rolling goes. Here's the throw, and they got him.
Going to be out.
Brown tries to advance and gets cut down by Shane Morrow. No runs for the Wizards, nobody left. We go to the 6th inning here at McCarthy Stadium. The Wizards 6, the Titans nothing on I-105.5, the legendary 1450 AM, and on Wizards TV. Not renovated like this, but it used to be the town dump. And the pitch is a strike, 1-1. This place underwent a total renovation in '94 for the American Legion Regional Tournament. And what you see here is the byproduct. Fly ball right field side. This is going to be a base hit. Gallo fields it cleanly. And the Titans have a base runner with 2 men out here in the 6th inning, down 6-0.
I'm curious, to your knowledge, is there any teams that actually have fields with a proper bullpen? That's like an indoors one? Or are they all outdoors?
They're all outdoors.
So I remember that someone said it was LaSalle or Hendrick, and they had like an actual proper, you walk in kind of like a cage, and you actually have a bullpen.
Well, I can tell you at Hendricken, on both sides of the, just the left field side, the home side, there's a caged bullpen area with 2 spots. Same thing with Carneades Field in Newport.
Right.
Pop up right field. Coming in is Gallo. And he's got it for the 3rd and final out. For the Titans, no runs on 1 hit. They strand 1. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Wizards 6-0 lead.
The law offices of Murphy and Fay have over 75 years of combined experience in personal injury law, automobile accidents, and DUI cases. Bill Murphy, Mark Fay, and Brandon Horan will give you the personal attention, the experience, the skill, and dedication that your case deserves. It's a winning combination. If you're injured in an auto accident and it's not your fault, call Murphy and Fay. They will make them pay. Call 490-3200 or visit them online at murphyandfay.com.
Little Roadie Storage now has 2 locations to serve you better. Find your safe, climate-controlled, and cambered storage unit at Little Roadie's original location at 100 Pulaski Street in Crompton, or the new Little Roadie Storage at 62 East Main Street in River Point. Both offer heated indoor vehicle storage as well. Plus, everything you may need to move, including boxes and other moving supplies. U-Haul rentals too. Little Roadie Storage, self-storage units, and so much more. 100 Pulaski Street and now 62 East Main Street, West Warwick.
This is Pat, inviting you to come hang at Boomerang's Roadhouse, West Warwick. Boomerang's offers the area's best wings and tenders with signature sauces, great burgers, fresh barbecue, seafood, and all your favorites. Like a Boomerang, we'll keep you coming back. We offer 50-cent wings all day and night on Wednesdays. Boomerangs, open 7 days a week for lunch, dinner, and cocktails. Fridays and Saturdays, we have Kent County's best prime rib dinners.
This is Patrick's grandma. Take it from me. It is so good.
Come and be part of our family.
BoomerangsRoadhouse.com and Facebook, 293 Providence Street in West Warwick.
Welcome to Fineco, a family of lumberyards started in Rhode Island with Coventry Lumber, Rhode Island's first and best drive-through lumberyard. Fineco knows that it's important for your home to look its best, so boost your curb appeal with Ply Gem. From elegant mantles to crown moldings to crisp corner posts, Ply Gem vinyl trim and molding offers a more durable product with a great wood look and the finishing touch to your home's exterior with Ply Gem, Coventry Lumber, and Fineco, a family of lumberyards, providing best-in-class products for builders and homeowners.
After working to 1 batter in the 2nd, Jeff Lalumini has thrown 3 shutout innings. And works to West Warwick in the top of the 6th with Riviera, Blanco, and Edgerton, the top 3 of the batting order scheduled. Lalumini throws ball 1 away from Riviera, who is 1 for 2. Where'd Chad go? Oh.
You think Rich Crenier's strategy here is just to try to put up some insurance runs?
No, I think he's ready. Fly ball deep over the head of the center fielder, and on the second base will come Riviera with a stand-up double. Long fly ball launched over the center fielder Chavez's head.
He did a little celebration taunting the center fielder there. He put his kind of like a salute up to his helmet, and he said, "It's over your head."
Well, Chavez got caught because if you remember a few times tonight, I've already mentioned that Chavez has been playing in on right-handed hitters. Riviera probably felt a little bit of disrespect and belted one. Here's Blanco after a check out the motor.
I guess when you're as high as a level as the batter that Joey is, you just try to show out when you can.
Joey's had a good year. There's a changeup that missed high for a ball. Blanco, 2 singles and a strikeout. Has 2 of West Warwick's 5 hits, 6 hits, 6 hits.
Joey has a lot of passion for this team. Every time he strikes out or he gets a close fly out, he always slams his bat. It shows dedication to Rich Grenier's team.
Ball missed tight, 2-0. Riera with 1 hit, Blanco with 2. Prue has 1. Here's the 2 by Liberty. It's a ball. It's a strike. It is a strike. It's an 8 o'clock strike.
Chad's coming back up now.
Trying to find those other 2 wizard hits. I've got 5. There's a ball around the chin. 2 for Riviera, 2 for Blanco, 1 for Prue, 1 for Hunt, 6. Okay, good. We're all on the same page. 3-1 to the hitter Blanco, and he skies to center field.
He's gonna go over his head again.
Chavez there to make the catch. Throw to third is going to be off the target.
A little sack fly action.
So Chavez learns his lesson, backs up a little bit, and now here's Nick Andrechow. If you're looking to the toll gate 7th, it's La Liberty, Chavez, and Morrow.
Which could be the very last 3 outs of their season.
It would have to be at least Chavez, La Liberty, Morrow, and a few others. Andrechow slashes one opposite field. It's foul ball. They would need Rosario, Randall, Calvin, Lafoci, and Gear all to bat. Oh, 1 is coming. Here it is. Strike in the outside corner. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Another ball.
Just a little bit outside.
Kyle Lawson clacked out today in Indy. Finished 27th. And started the Charlotte race. 2 balls, 2 strikes. You don't have to turn your dial or get off your screen. We'll tell you everything. We may not be right all the time, but we'll tell you everything. Strike 3 called. That's uncharacteristically Nick Andrechow, who's called out on strikes twice. So it's Jack Prue.
I'm trying to see they had a pitcher change because I don't think is 17 still him. Oh, I don't know where he was. Tollgate 1-1.
13 is the Liberty, I believe.
So they change, I think.
There's a strike.
Yeah, that's 17. See that clear as day. I wonder who that is. It's right there, I think. So they put in Fails. I'm trying to get his first name.
Is fouled. Seven is Anthony Corvese.
17. So Brady Fowles. I'm pretty sure that's
fails.
I'm pretty sure that's who's on the mound.
Yeah, Brady Fails, who I believe is a freshman.
Where'd your roster go? You had the roster of all the players. Went somewhere. Oh, there it is.
The wife stole it. The 1-2.
Yep, Fowles is a
Crutch
freshman.
foul.
Do they think this game is out of reach?
trying to put the finger in the proverbial knife.
Yeah,
Now,
he's
Fields is a junior.
He's a junior?
Yep.
I think I read the one above him. Oh, he hit him.
Hit batter. So it doesn't matter who's on the mound.
That one was kind of like, he kind of lobbed it in there. And it kind of just hit him, I think it hit him by the elbow. Just scathed him.
Now, Duran and the plate umpire have another argument or discussion.
So definitely for the Titans, it's been a lot of hit batters tonight. How often do you see that in high school baseball?
Not an awful lot.
Must be a full moon out or something, huh?
What, at 5, I want to say? That was their
It
fifth.
is 5.
Feels like he's debated every single hit by pitch call that they've had.
So, pitcher Mason Hunt stepping back up to the plate. He's been walked twice. Hit a double back in the second.
2 down here in the 6th. The Wizards need 4 runs to end the game via the mercy rule.
Or they get 3 outs when they get back to the top of the 7th.
Yep. Fails is ready to throw to first and back in time as a runner. They thought they had him.
Are they going to come out and debate that call? Nope. He's standing strong right at his post there in the toll gate away. First base dugout.
They've all got to be frustrated.
Especially with the season on the line, too.
But you know, you look at the Wizards batter and none of them are giving in. They're all crowding the plate. They're basically fair game. Nobody even moderately close to the middle of the batter's box.
Definitely noticed he's taken less of a stride after getting checked twice.
Challenging the pitcher to control him.
Foul ball.
Have you ever seen any balls hit any of the lights up here, John?
I did in our very first year that this field was up in '94. During the tournament, there was a player from a team in New Jersey that hit this light tower to our right. Did not damage the light, but everybody figured it was the first game with the lights. We never had lights on this field before. The first game being played, somebody said, oh, I guess it figures. Here's the pitch. It's a strike. The runner at second base now as taking the ball, the bag is Prue. I mean, I've seen it hit the pole a few times, Chad, but never seen a light itself.
The actual damages.
Right.
Nothing like the natural.
Here's the ball up high. Barbara says there was one down the right field line that may have been hit. She would remember. I was probably asleep at the dugout. Here's the 1-2. Waits on it, grounds it to third. Long throw to first will be up the line, but tag is applied, and that'll do it for Hunt and for the Wizards in the 6th inning. For West, no runs on 1 hit. There were 2 runners left on base. Last call for Tollgate. The Titans trail at 6-0.
Buying home heating oil isn't glamorous, but keeping your family warm is one of the most important duties you have. Trust Aurora Fuel to provide you affordable, reliable, and dependable oil delivery.
there Wednesday.
Tim Dean becomes the third West Warwick pitcher, working the Tollgate seventh inning. La Liberty, Chavez, Morrow, and if all of them get on, or any of them get on, Rosario, Randall, Colvin. His first pitch strike to La Liberty.
They got to score 6 to get back in this game and hold us off in the last to even have a chance of winning this game.
Tall order for the Titans. Wizards looking to lock up a trip to the playoff. Proper. The pod proper, as it would be.
Liberty on his first at-bat was a walk. Second at-bat, strikeout in the fourth.
And the pitch. It's a called strike. The Tollgate score sheet here looks like a map of Fargo, North Dakota, where nothing goes on. The bottom, the Wizards score sheet, looks like downtown Manhattan in rush hour. Here's the 0-2. Missed outside.
Looks like he framed it just inside, but the umpire is just going to call that out. If I remember correctly, last year he was splitting his time with Caden Denton, right?
Yep. Swinging strike 3. Dean gets a strikeout. Down goes the Liberty. The Wizards are 2 outs away. Tim can really use this because he had quite the horrible outing against Pilgrim the other day. 2 1/3 innings, gave up 5 runs. That Pilgrim team is a very good baseball team.
D1, right?
Yep.
I think they're the 4th in Division 1.
Yeah.
I think they're behind, Hendrick and LaSalle, someone else.
Ball 1 is away. Wizards will advance to face Central in the pod proper, which basically is a small double elimination tournament. Here's a swinging strike. Hunt is returned to left field. Not that it matters, but Dean would take Prevoyer's spot in the batting order. Something I don't think Tim's interested in doing, nor is Rich Grenier. So it's 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 down here in the 7th.
Pilgrim didn't even make the playoffs in D1.
Thinking about like 7 and 11, right?
Yep.
Good team though. Big. Tall. Built.
Because Pod 1 is Hendricken, Smithfield, LaSalle, North Kingston. Pound 2, Cumberland, Cranston West, SK, and East Providence.
Inside pitch from Timmy Dean almost ended up clipping the batter.
Chavez thought it was strike 3. He thought his season was over. Dean ready to throw a 3-2 pitch to him. Oliver Chavez ready. The pitch to the center fielder is roped into the left center field gap. Running over is Riviera to make the play.
3 strikes, 1 out away from the season being ended.
Titans' last hope is Shane Morrow.
0 for 1 in this game. Ground out to second in the second. He got walked in the fourth. Excuse me, the fifth.
Combined 3-hitter for Bert Hunt and Dean. And this could be it. Andrew Chow camping under it and makes the catch in foul territory near the backstop to end the ball game. The Titans go down harmlessly. 1-2-3 in the 7th inning. Your final score, the Wizards 6, Tollgate nothing. We'll wrap it up from McCarthy Stadium in just a moment.
Welcome to Fineco, a family of lumberyards started in Rhode Island with Coventry.
huge for the Wizards. Timmy Dean getting that closeout is also going to do great for the confidence for him coming off that bad game against Pilgrim.
And on the hitting side, the Wizards had that very excellent half inning where they put up them 5, and then the rest of the game was kind of a little bit quiet from them. They had a couple of hit by pitches on Jack, Mason, and all them. They had 5 of them, and then they just had a very rough closing out. But besides that, they had a good game.
Andrew John with a sac fly in the first inning to make it 1-0, and then in rapid-fire order, Corrado walked, Brown walked, Riviera singled, Blanco singled a run in, Prue singled 2 runs in, and Hunt doubled 2 runs in a 5-run second. The inning that the Wizards really needed to break that long drought that they had that dates back about a week and a half. Well, guys, it's been good to work with you. Good luck the rest of the way. I know you're going to do the Tuesday game on Wizards TV, so that'll be a lot of fun. The softball game, I'm talking.
It's always a pleasure working with the greats.
The overrated, please. The somewhat adequate John Parenti. I'll give myself somewhat adequate. That's about it. And again, our thanks on the radio side, of course, to Johnny Boots, who is doing some magic act over there in the corner with Eric White. While I'm speaking of Eric White, Eric, thanks for allowing me to do all these games this season. Very appreciated. A lot of fun. Your guys do a heck of a job. So for Chad and Mike and Boots and Eric and our camera operators, Aaron, Kaden, and Bahari, John Parenti saying so long from McCarthy Stadium. Your final tonight, the Wizards advance with a 6-0 win over Tollgate.